Did you know that the quality of your breathing affects your entire life? I know that might seem like a leap for a lot of you, but if you follow me along, I promise it'll make sense. You see, science has already proven that the quality of our breath directly affects the most major organs in our body, such as our stomach, our heart, and our brain. Now, I think most of us understand the importance of our brain. If anything, the brain is actually a little overemphasized in Western culture. So let's go to the heart. Did you know that the heart has its own neural cells? It's actually involved intricately with the brain in the process of thinking and feeling, mood and cognition. Okay? So the quality and the health of your heart will have an effect on the health or the potency of your thoughts and your mood, your energy as we call it, right? The heart actually has a larger electromagnetic field than anything else in your body. Okay, the electromagnetic field is how much energy is emitting from your heart, and they can measure that now with what's called an EEG. Okay, so you can look any of this stuff up, guys. This is all somewhat new science. We weren't really privy to this when I was in school, at least. So the EEG measures the amount of electromagnetic energy coming from any given object, and our heart has a field that's 5 times larger than that of our brain. Okay, so it's powerful. It's a very powerful entity. Mystics have been telling us for a long time, and now the scientists are starting to agree that the heart is almost like this magnet that pulls things in. That's why even some of us can relate to the idea of our heart attracting us to certain people and kind of like magnetizing certain relationships into our life, right? So the heart is a very, very powerful organ, guys. Not only that, but it's intricately involved in the process of making oxytocin. Oxytocin is the neurotransmitter that allows us to bond and form relationships with others. So if you have low levels of oxytocin in an unhealthy heart, you might have a hard time bonding with others and making and creating and nurturing high quality relationships. Now, why is that important? Now, most of us don't realize the high quality relationships are actually the only correlation, the only common denominator among the world's longest living people. Not joking, guys. Again, if you don't believe anything I'm saying, please do your research. They're called centenarians. Centenarians are people who've lived to over 100 years old, right? And they've been pretty heavily studied. Now, the funny thing is, they have all types of different lifestyles. Some centenarians smoked. Actually, the longest living person in the world, in recorded history, I'll say, Jeanette Claude, I believe was her name. She smoked a cigarette a day. Some of them drank, some of them had kids, some of them didn't, some of them were married, some of them didn't. They all had very different lives. They were very, very different. They were having a very hard time finding what is a common correlation between all these people who are living to over 100. What are they doing? Right? Like, is it just a genetic anomaly, or is there something we can relate to this? And the only thing they were able to find that all of them had in common was they had healthy, strong relationships. Guys, do you understand what that means? Love is what keeps us alive. Love. It's that simple. So the heart is so, so important. And we know, come on, if you don't know, again, please do your research. It won't take you long to find out how the quality of your breathing affects the quality of your heartbeat. Okay? So, I think that's it for the heart, all right? So we'll move on to the stomach. The stomach, a lot of people don't realize, because again, when we were in school, we were taught the stomach just digests and assimilates your food. And it does do that, but it does a whole lot more. Your stomach actually produces 90% of the serotonin that's in your system, that's in your body. Serotonin is the neurotransmitter that allows us or makes us feel good, just happy, relaxed. You know, when we're laughing and we're hanging out with friends and we're just enjoying life, that's serotonin. flooding through our system. Okay, so it's hard for us to get into that state when we have a messed up stomach, when our digestion is poor. Okay, and breathing has a huge effect on your digestion, believe it or not. Now, obviously, what you're eating is really important too. Okay, and we can touch on that in another video, and you can reach out to me for coaching on that. That's one of my favorite things to coach people through is nutrition. I have a beautiful, beautiful program that will help you figure out exactly what is good for your body, rather than trying to follow all these different nutrition regimens by all these different experts. This actually helps you go through this process of discovery and finding which foods really are good for your body and which foods are causing indigestion, bloating, low energy, just the type of foods that really don't assimilate well in your specific gut microbiome. Okay, so beyond that, breathing. When we take a deep breath and we fill up the bottom of our lungs, which most of us don't do, most of us we're breathing really short and rapidly through the upper lungs, okay? When you're filling up the bottom part of your lungs, because of the force that it's pushing up against your stomach and then relaxing, pushing up and relaxing, it actually helps move things through your belly, through your stomach, okay? Now that's important because things get stuck, like things can get lodged up in there. Okay, I don't know if you've ever seen somebody have like an enema, but obviously that's the lower part of your stomach, but still, even when you breathe, you'll feel your belly push out. Everything moves, okay? Because the lungs are in the center, they're inside, pressed up against your heart, pressed up against your stomach, they're related, they're in that same household, right? So when they expand fully, they move everything else with them. There's this flow that happens, kind of like you see the oceans in the wave, just flowing back and forth. When you're taking really deep breaths, that's what's happening from everything from like the lower belly button up to even the brain, actually. You see, that's the other part that I didn't even get to yet, is your spine, your spinal health, which is so unbelievably important. Guys, they've done studies on yogis and found that dedicated yogis don't shrink like normal people do. That's pretty awesome. So why that is because normal people, average people, most people aren't breathing deep enough and moving their body enough to keep that mobility and that flexibility of their spine. So what happens is over time, their discs compress. They get dried up and they compress because there's not enough fluid moving up and down the spinal canal, and there's not enough movement happening, which when you move, your body's releasing things like synovial fluid, it's moving blood around more, it's nourishing the tissues, okay? So that's why movement is so incredibly important. Another big thing that is a huge part of the Vitality program, I teach you how to move in a way that feels good, that makes you want to move. All right, teach you how to turn exercise into a self-pleasure activity instead of this like, oh man, I gotta work out. Like, no, if you have that energy, if you have the energy of working out that you're dreading your workout because it's gonna be painful, it's gonna be stressful, then I promise you, unless you wanna be a bodybuilder, if that's your goal, then yeah, that might be necessary because you really need to go hard to win those contests. But for everybody else, that's so unnecessary and it's so counterproductive. Your workout should be fun and enjoyable and de-stressing. You should feel amazing after your workout. You should look forward to your workout every day because it's the part of your day that really allows you to just feel amazing inside, okay? So if you haven't figured out how to do that yet, please reach out because this will change your life, guys. No joke, this will change your life. These 3 things, if really it was only these 3 things to focus on, your breath, the quality of your breathing, the quality of your diet, and the quality of your movement. These 3 things will literally transform your entire being, okay? So, okay, I know I've come at you with a lot, and I've come at you with kind of an intense energy because I get excited about this stuff. This stuff to me, it's like, I get so sad when people don't take it seriously. I have so many people in my life who come to me with so many, oh, I don't feel great, my energy, my stomach, oh, my body, I got aches and pains, my brain fog, all this stuff. And I tell them it's this simple, but it's so hard for people to take it seriously enough and prioritize it enough. It's like everybody's so busy that they won't take the time to slow down and take care of themselves. But you don't realize, guys, that's like running your car with never doing an oil change. It's like trying to run your car with no gas, or instead of, I can't afford to get gasoline, so I'm gonna dump vodka in my engine instead. It'll run for a while, but it'll damage all the components of the vehicle. That's what's happening when you're eating this shitty food. That's what's happening when you're not taking the time to take high quality breaths and really learn to articulate and get masterful with your breath. It's like having a clogged or dysfunctional carburetor system in your car. The airflow's all off and it's messing everything up, but you're not doing anything about it. Guys, it's so important. It's so important. Okay, if you maintain your car, and you maintain your home, but you don't maintain you, where are your priorities? Like, that car and that home aren't gonna mean nothing when you're sick and you're broken down and you feel like dookie. Guys, it's not necessary. I've been blessed to meet people in their 90s who feel better and function better than most people I know in their 20s and 30s. It's not genetics, guys. It's not, I promise you. It's choices. It's lifestyle. Okay, so if you're ready to really get serious, to really turn on and master yourself, your movement, your breathing, your nutrition, even your intentions, and like getting serious about what is the purpose of my life and how can I start fulfilling that purpose so that what I do every day feels amazing to me instead of just like a grind for money or a paycheck. Guys, that's not why we're here. We're not put here just to get a paycheck, just to pay some bills, just to sit on the couch and eat some pizza and like through life. I promise, life is so much more beautiful than that when you start taking these things seriously. And the Vitality Program addresses all of these things. All of these things. So if you want to learn more, reach out. Okay, and I'm going to teach you before I go, I'm going to teach you one really beautiful breath. Okay? So you have to sit up tall. You have to make your spine perfectly straight. Push your chin back a little bit so that your neck is in line with your spine. Most of us have a little bit of this forward head posture going on from our lifestyle choices. And you want to take a deep breath starting into the belly. Okay, really pushing the belly out with your breath. Getting a long spine. When you breathe, you should feel yourself getting longer. Okay, you should feel your spine literally getting longer, like you're getting taller. All right? You feel your lungs fill up from the bottom all the way up to the upper chest. Okay? And then when you let go of this breath, let it go nice and slow. And make a slight noise, okay? Sounds like the vibration of your vocal cords and that sound helps relax your nervous system. Okay, it helps you create more calm, more focus, more ease, more inner peace, more clarity. You just feel better. If you can take even just 10 breaths like that, honestly even 5, but try to get at least 10. Try 10 because you'll feel so different. Just after 10 of those breaths, you'll notice that you're more relaxed, you're more focused, you're more calm. If you were kind of tired, you might be slightly more energized. Now if you do that for a whole 10 minutes, or even 30 minutes, woo, it's incredible what you can do with this just simple art of breathing. Okay, guys? So I have so many different styles of breath work I can teach you, so many different styles of meditation I can teach you. All of them will help you live a more full and enriching life. So I hope to hear from you. And even if I don't hear from you, I'm wishing you the absolute best, because that is what love does. And I am full of love. Love for you, love for the planet, love for every little thing in life, even the trials and tribulations. When we learn to master our breath, we learn to master our inner world. We learn to find pleasure in the discomfort. We learn to enjoy the challenges as much as we enjoy the successes. That's when you start winning in life, guys. That's when life turns into this beautiful, beautiful flow instead of this constant grind. Life shouldn't be a grind, guys. If you're enjoying grinding, it's different. There are times to really just like dig into something. But if you're dreading each day, if you're not feeling this burst of excitement and gratitude for life, then I promise you there's something that needs to be tweaked, okay? And the Vitality program addresses all 9 dimensions. So no matter what needs to be tweaked, we will figure it out. We will find which dimension that's in, whether it's your mindset, whether it's your communication skills, your relationship, your sense of purpose, your creativity and sexuality, your diet and movement, your relationship to the planet. Maybe your air quality in your house is horrible, or your water quality is horrible and it's really pulling your energy down. Okay, so there's so many different facets to really feeling your best that's why we have to be very, very mindful. We have to really inspect every area of our life. Find the kinks in the armor. Find the kinks in the hose, maybe, is a better analogy for it. Where things aren't flowing, where things just aren't working. And start taking the necessary steps. And sometimes we don't know what those steps are, guys. I get it. That's why I created this program. Part of this reason that I created the Vitality program is because I was obsessed with personal development. I really had a life that I didn't like. I wasn't happy. I was really miserable. And I was never taught these tools and skills on how to work on myself. The only thing I was taught was go to work, get a paycheck, pay your bills, socialize, go out to the bar and meet your friends once a week, clean your house, the basic stuff. I knew how to do all that, and I did all that. My house was clean, I had friends, I had a job, I had all the things that that are supposed to make us happy. Oh, okay, I'm succeeding, I'm good, life's good. It wasn't for me. I wasn't happy. I was really, really, really like that. It's just like that, really just. So I got obsessed. I started reading all the personal development books I could read, listening to all the podcasts, all the YouTube channels, everything. Everything I could absorb and take in the personal development realm, I did. And I was already into health and fitness. I had already figured out the nutrition and unlocked that key. I had already really mastered that area. Exercise, same thing. I had somewhat mastered it, but it wasn't actually until I got deep into spirituality that my exercise became an act of self-pleasure. It was still kind of a grind. It was more about vanity, I'm gonna get big, I'm gonna get jacked, and I did. I was ripped up for a long time, right? And that kind of fulfilled this lack, this sense of not being enough inside of me, right? But yeah, these other things, mastering myself, mastering my breath, mastering my relationships, and learning how to let go of relationships that were not good for me in a healthy way, and not a abandoning, giving up way, but in a way of saying, hey, the way you're treating me, it's not good. It's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for you. I'm gonna step back and allow you to do whatever work you need to do on yourself. Know that I'll be here when you're ready to have a healthy relationship, but I'm not gonna honor this style of communication or the way that we're treating each other. That's it. And you'd be amazed when you learn how to back away from an unhealthy relationship in a very tactful and respectful and non-judgmental and loving way. In my experience, most people will come around and they'll apologize and they'll change the way that they're treating you. They'll change the way that they're talking to you. Some won't. There'll be the rare ones that'll just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever, you don't like me, they'll just kind of F off, so to say. They'll just kind of go their own way, and that's okay. Everybody's got their own journey, right? We can't be too attached to anything. When we do, guys, attachment creates suffering. Always, 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 always. So, I could ramble on forever because really I have so much to share. So much to share with you guys. And I want to be able to really help as many people in the world live a good life. Because I don't think it's fair, guys. Like, we should have been taught this stuff in school. This should have been like ground one, like before we were taught even like our ABCs, we should have been taught how our breathing can help us take control of our mind, our heart, our emotions, and our thoughts. Like, that should have been first. We would have so much less violence. We would have so much, the kids would be able to focus in school better. We'd have less problems with ADHD and kids acting out and all these things if we were taught these skills first and foremost. Same with the nutrition and movement. All these things, they're foundational to living a good life. But we weren't taught these foundations, and that's so not right. It's a misprioritization of skills and knowledge and wisdom. And so, guys, the secret is I'm willing to do this for anybody. I have a price, okay? I have a normal price, and as long as you can afford that price, of course, that's the right thing to do. However, if you really can't, if you want a coach, you need a coach really badly, you need a program like this really badly, you're willing to do the work, yet you live in an impoverished way and you just can't afford it right now, I'll work with you. I'll work with you because I've been there. I grew up that way. Growing up, there were a lot of times where I would have been really happy to pay for a coach, to have this program by my side, but there were times where I couldn't afford what my normal price is, right? I couldn't afford a coach, I couldn't afford this program. So I've made a scholarship program for people, anybody in that situation, because I understand, I get it, I've been there. And I'm not gonna shut the door on you as long as you're willing to do the work. I'm not gonna say no to you as long as you're willing to do the work, okay? That's the key though. That's the key. If you say, oh, okay, you fill out for the scholarship program, you get a really reduced price, or sometimes even free. It doesn't happen often, guys, but if you're really in a bad position, I'll give it to you for free. And you get all this, but you don't do the work, you don't follow through with the advice that I give you, you don't do any of the stuff, you just kind of waste it, then I'm done with you. That's when I have to say, okay, this relationship isn't healthy, you're draining me, you're not fulfilling your part of this, so I'm gonna back off and let you continue on your journey. Some people gotta go through a lot of pain before they're ready to take responsibility for their lives. And you can't have vitality, you can't have success, you can't have true happiness and fulfillment without taking responsibility. Because without taking responsibility, you have no power and no control over yourself and your life. That's the first step. The first step is saying, okay, I can do something different. I do have some agency over myself and my life. I'm not a victim. I am responsible. So guys, I'm gonna end this video with that because I already have gone a lot longer than I meant to. This was supposed to just be a video about breathing, and I've gone into a bunch of other topics. But I've decided to let myself be more free flow with these videos because it feels better. It feels better. I want to really deeply connect with you guys. I want you to see my heart and know that I'm here for you. The Vitality program is here for you. It's here to genuinely change the lives of, I hope, millions and billions of people. I want to get this program into early education so that we can teach our kids from a very young age how to use their breath correctly, how to learn which foods are really good for their bodies and gonna give them a bunch of energy and focus, and which foods are gonna make them feel and sick and tired and just brain fogged. How to nurture healthy relationships, how to connect to something higher than themselves and be guided and inspired, how to use their sexual and creative energy once they're correct age. Obviously, I think we'll wait a little longer for that than maybe some of this other stuff, but how to use that in a healthy way, right? Our sex ed classes are so sad. Once you really learn like Tantra and sacred sexuality and how to use your sexual creative energy to just inspire and cultivate that creative energy within yourself so that you can be more creative in your life, that's when you go, whoa, why were we taught this stuff? We were robbed, guys. Like, what they gave us as an education, we were robbed. So I would really love to recreate all of this. If you're with me, reach out, let me know. We can do this together, guys. We can do this together, but we need each other to do this. Okay, so with love, with peace, with vitality, I'm wishing you all the greatest existence imaginable.